Welcome to the show, everybody. My name is Conrad, and how are you, buddy? Today is the 9th of June, I think, 2022, the year of our Lord. And good morning. Happy Thursday, everybody. I mean, you made it. If you're listening to this, you made it. You woke up, be grateful. You know, you didn't die last night. If you went to bed and then you woke up, that's a good day. So, good to be here. I'm getting ready to go meet up with Shannon. We got a long day of tacoing in Agra, Oklahoma today. So once I get done with this show, I'm gonna head over to Random Dude Ranch and get in the old GMC, go to Walmart, buy all the fixins, go by and get some fuel, and then we're off to the races, dude. We're down to Agra. If you haven't been to Agra lately, it is um it's a beautiful little town. Everybody's sweet there, so we like to go back and visit. They got a great cafe. We were trying not to interfere with their cafe's schedule because there's a limited amount of people there, so we didn't want to take any of their revenue. But at the same time, we're a business too. We got to make money, so or at least we got to make enough money to pay the Walmart bill and the gas bill. Would a little bit extra? Would that be nice? Sure, I guess so. Who cares? Um, so woke up. The problem is with getting up early. I got up like 6, which I wanted to get up at 5, but I just couldn't. The problem is I've been going to bed too late. You know what I mean? Like after midnight. Um, just been going to bed too late, and the reasoning is, well, one of the nights the reason was fine. The reason was, we were waiting for the children to go to bed, and we had my wife and I had a horizontal date. You know what I'm saying? So we had to wait pretty long for that to happen. But we have one of those stupid, which is the stupidest thing we ever did, was to buy those freaking I call them the thunder gun, but the massage guns that they sell that's got the ball on the end of it. Um, because once we got that, and that it just became a routine, dude. And it's addictive as anything. And so my wife's kind enough to be like, no, she'll kind of rub me down when we're watching TV with it, which is awesome. And she likes it better. I'm not gonna say she likes it, but she likes it better than, every once in a while when she used to use her hands. But who cares? We're getting away from hands. We're getting away from that. It's a robot massage. But I'll oftentimes have to be, you know, she'll be like, "I'm gonna take a shower and I'm gonna go pick up the kitchen," and everything she does takes, um, she's in no hurry, which is fine. But you know, she's on her phone. She's looking. A shower takes an hour and a half. Clean up the kitchen takes 2 hours, and it's like it's midnight, babe. I gotta get up in 5 hours. And she might be like, "Well, then don't get him." It's like, yeah, well. So, anyways, I'm a little tired. I'm a little cranky. I get like this on Thursdays sometimes. So I'm sorry about that. I'm wearing green too, which isn't my favorite color. So, but another thing. So we have in our estate, here at the flat in Prague, Oklahoma, we have about a little less than 1,000 square feet to take care of. So it's a pretty big job. And there's a lot of, even though there's plenty of parking, there's a lot of things you have to do inside a house that's less than 900 square feet to make life livable for a family of 4 and a cat. And so we have like this little laundry room that's behind the kitchen, and we put the refrigerator back there to make the kitchen feel more open. That can even be a thing. But to have room, basically, to move in the kitchen. And that's fine, but we have this. My wife, at some point, it was a long time ago because I remember it at the old house too. At some point, she had bought this air freshener, which is cool, but it's an automatic air freshener. And every time I go to the refrigerator, the reason the air freshener is back there is because the litter box for the cat is back there. And so, because nothing, like, if you're hungry and you're looking for a snack, there's nothing more appetizing than the smell of cat shit next to your refrigerator. And so you get back and you open up your refrigerator and it's like, oh yeah, I think I'll get a cheese stick. That smells like cat shit. I think I'm gonna have a cheese stick right now. Or, babe, where's the pickles at? The smell of cat shit makes me want to have a pickle. So she put this air freshener back there to combat it. The problem is, when I open the refrigerator, every time I go back there, the damn air freshener just sprays me in the face. And it's a like a great value scent. You know what I mean? So it's a Walmart based scent. But it's so close to me that I don't even really know what it smells like because it hits you directly in the face. Like, you walk back, ooh, cat shit, then it makes this little noise like that, and then just hits you in the face. So, that happened to me every time I went to the fridge this morning, which is probably too many times for as early as it is. But I don't know. I was getting some hot sauce and some ketchup. I was making myself a breakfast sandwich, and my wife had made some scrambled eggs with a little bit of cheese mixed in there and mixed in some potatoes. And I kind of think that it's an opinion. I get it. But in my opinion, universally, the best breakfast bread is a bagel, particularly an everything bagel, although that can get a little messy, but I do enjoy that magic dusting that they put on top of it. You know what I mean? I don't even know what it is. A little bit of peppers, chunks, and bird seed, and they'll put a little bit of granola on top of there or something. And for whatever reason, it feels like you're eating, country. Like, it feels like you're eating a farm. When you eat an everything bagel, like, you can taste it all. I taste the wheat. I taste the chaff, or whatever. But what I like to do is I'll just put butter on it. I don't like cream cheese. I haven't tried it in a long time though, and sometimes your taste buds change as you get older. So I might be a cream cheese head, and I don't even know yet. But I'll just put butter on it, and then I like to put whatever the protein. So if we're having egg, I'll put an egg on there. Or I think the ultimate though. I mean, I like biscuits. I even have had a chicken and biscuit it's different, and I like it. I've had pancake. I mean, of course, toast is always great, but I think that if you're gonna have a piece of fried chicken, you wouldn't want it on a bagel. You would want it on a biscuit. You know what I mean? I think there's certain, basically the bread is just the house for the protein, and sometimes some things aren't allowed in a house. You know what I mean? Sometimes you don't bring certain things into a house. It's like that dirt bike's not meant to be in the house, and sometimes like a chicken is a dirt bike. You don't bring it into a bagel house. And like a piece of fish. Now people will I think that's what Hebrew people do, is they put fish on their bagel. That's not for me. I do like sushi. I might put sushi on a bagel. That'd be all right. That would be gross. But anyways, I think that my fixation on the bagel as a breakfast, as the house of breakfast, is it stems from McDonald's. God, and I hate McDonald's. I really do just kind of hate fast food in general. And that's why we started OK Taco Company, was to make fresh food fast. And we didn't trademark that. And somebody else did, so don't sue me. And that's not our tagline. But you go to McDonald's, you're guaranteed to feel awful. You're guaranteed to feel bad. But back in the early 2000s, late 90s, um, when people were real and people weren't robots, McDonald's had invented a breakfast sandwich called the steak, egg, and cheese bagel. And some of the whatever salty slime that they boiled their steak in, and it had onions on it. They say grilled onions, but I think they just came that way, like a chemical onion, because you couldn't ever replicate the flavor at home. You know what I mean? You can't replicate it. And I always thought that was the greatest breakfast sandwich of all time. And then they took it away. That's the one good thing, much like McDonald's is a lot like Hitler in that way, where everything that McDonald's has done has destroyed the world. But in that destruction, the silver lining, as Marg Schott or whatever that Cincinnati Reds lady said, was like they built good roads. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's a poor analogy, but McDonald's has probably contributed to the, diabetes, all of that stuff more than anyone. Not just weight gain, diabetes, heart disease, especially like children's obesity. All that stuff it's marketed for children. You get addicted to this garbage that can't be replicated at home. It's so easy. It's so cheap. It's basically free. And then you know, that's what you eat. And then you walk around with heart disease. And it's legal. It's legal. McDonald's has killed more people than COVID, easy. McDonald's has killed more people than they've killed more people than Hitler did. For sure. At this point, they serve millions and millions every day. It says on their freaking sign. It's an average death. But damn, that steak, egg, and cheese bagel was good. And I think they're bringing it back. So, sometimes you just got to get in bed with that devil. Sometimes you got to do that. But I don't know. French toast is pretty damn good too. I've made a French that was pretty righteous with a piece of sausage in there. But that's that sweet and savory flavor combination. That's so pleasing to so many different people. So I don't know. Let me know, what is your favorite? I mean, Wendy's does breakfast, dude, but I think everybody that does it is just at least in the fast food game, is just copying McDonald's, and always has been, and that's no secret. Everybody knows that. So some people think that Sonic does a good breakfast. I disagree. Their breakfast burrito is an abomination. You don't put full chunks of tomatoes in there. That's disgusting. Get that shit out of here, I say. And I've never really liked Sonic anyways. It's too corporate. I usually prefer to if I'm gonna eat out, I'll try to find a local diner. I like diners. I like to shop local and eat local. So, and usually diners are better. Or I'll go to like a gas station and get just bagged gravy. Like a bagged biscuits and gravy is pretty damn good too, and that's pretty local. So I don't know. What is your favorite? If you got to have one sandwich for the remainder of your life, what are you picking? Are you picking a chicken and biscuit? Are you picking a French toast sandwich? Are you picking one of those pancake McGriddles? Are you picking a steak, egg, and cheese bagel or bagel as your sandwich? Let's just say that can be any meat. You just got to pick the bread. What is it going to be? You get one for the rest of your life. you can let me know. You can message that in to Conradio on Facebook. You can send me a message. You can leave it in a review, dude. If you get on iTunes or Spotify, Conradio is on there. You could leave it in a review. You could message me in Patreon. Conradio is over there on Patreon. So let me know what your favorite breakfast sandwich bread is, please. And you won't change my opinion, though, just so you know. There's no argument you can make. You could be the freaking Johnny Cochran of breakfast foods, and you're not going to sway my opinion. I'm a biased juror, so it's got to be bagel. Plain is fine. Everything's better, but I don't know. Let me know. So one thing that I noticed since I last spoke to you, since yesterday, is I was out. Like I told you yesterday, I own about a little bit less than a fourth of an acre, so pretty good sized property, and I had to take care of the lawn at my property, which I wouldn't say is a tremendous undertaking. It is. I have a pretty good size walk behind mower, and it takes usually down. And if I go down and back, I'm done. So, like I said, do it. It doesn't matter that it's still got to do it. So I got it all started. I just started it up, aired the tire up, and started mowing. Birds next door. I don't know what brand they were. They're just normal birds. I'd say they're the government birds, just a everyday government bird. And they've got like some got like a tan stomach. Usually they got brown eyes, and it was on my neighbor still does antenna TV, dude. He's got a converter box or something. Still got that big clothes hanger antenna thing that goes on your roof. The thing that looks like a Hellraiser, a skinny Hellraiser. He's got that antenna, and there's a bunch of these government birds that were just chilling up there, and they were walking around on the antenna. And I noticed that a bird. At first, I thought, why do birds have feet? You know what I mean? When God was designing them, He knew that they're going to be able to fly. Their feet were kind of a waste, basically. Meaning, I guess they're good for, like an eagle's got a freaking talon. Like it can reach down and grab a deer. I've seen an eagle actually carry a deer. You know what I mean? It's picked a deer up and put it in its nest and raised it, dude, until it ate it. But those little birds, I don't know why they have feet. I almost wish that God. There might be one on my roof. I think there is. They know I'm talking, dude. Birds have memories. I gotta get some earphones or something so I don't hear those sounds. I almost wish that God would have designed it where the bottom of the bird was legless and it had like a skid plate almost, like the palm of your hand, like a hoof, and a bird would just kind of slide on its butt and then just go back in the air. Because I think that those little birds, what are they grabbing with their hands? They're not eagle hands. They're just tiny little ones. You might be able to grab like a spider or a bug or something, maybe a worm, I guess. I'm sure they use them pretty good, but I kind of think that they are a waste. But as I was watching them hop around, these government birds on the antenna, I noticed that because they don't, because birds don't have upper talons, they don't have like little dinosaur hands. They look like they kind of look like a person that just doesn't have arms when they're walking. Like they just kind of waddle around without arms. And if you've ever seen a person that's armless, a lot of times their chest is out. They'll stick their chest out, and that's how, for whatever reason, that's how you walk around. And I know that we've tried to design prosthetics for human beings that are missing arms, and we'll make them look as real as we can, or we'll just go full robot with it and make them look like Terminator arms, which are pretty cool. Or sometimes they'll be sponsored. You'll see a dude walking around and he's got like a Marlboro arm or a Camel arm or a Bud Light arm or something like that. And that's pretty cool because it's cool that corporations are trying to help these people that don't have appendages. But maybe birds were just a template that it was a way that God was showing us what he wanted us to do with our armless people, is what I was thinking. Like, what if instead of designing arms for those who are armless, what if our job was supposed to be putting wings on these little angels? Their bodies are made, they're already, if you see somebody that doesn't have arms, they're going to be walking around like a bird. They'll have their chest out and they're usually be kind of swinging when they walk. They waddle. And doctors were wanting to help out so that, whoa, let's put some arms on this guy. That'll make him happy. I don't think so, dude. I think it makes him feel, because even when you put a robot arm on a person, they know they still look different. They know that it's not a real arm. Even if it can do everything a real arm can do, even if it can do it better, they know it's not a real arm. So a lot of times in like middle school or grade school or even high school, and probably even just in the normal everyday life, they're going to feel uncomfortable. And all the clubs out there, all the arm pride that goes on, all the upper body arm pride that happens with different clubs and different organizations that are exclusive. You can't play, it's really hard to play softball, or it's really hard to do anything without your arms. And you can't join a billiards team. You can't go bowling, and maybe you can, but it's, you're going to feel like every time people are going to be like, do you want me to put the bumpers down for you? No, I have pride. I didn't lose my pride, but you'll have to like kick the ball over to the thing. And then whatever method you use, no matter if you only hit one pin, everybody's still going to be like, yay! People with arms do. They clap. You can't even clap. So maybe we were supposed to be designing wings for these people, is what I think. Like a harness that is winged and motorized. And we turn these people into just freaking human falcons. Because they can already... You've seen people without arms play piano. You've seen people without arms cook. You've seen people without arms brush their teeth. So they do so much with their feet and their core. They just have... The only person to ever beat up Bruce Lee was a dude with no arms because his core was so strong. Okay? They have the strongest cores in the game as far as the human game. So you throw some wings on these bad boys, turn them into damn human falcons. I think that's what we should be doing. I think we should take our focus off of trying to make them fit into our averageness, our armed average existence. We should turn them into the superheroes that they are. Turn them into birds, birdmen. Throw that harness on them. Give them those. I don't know what you could pick a color. You could still pick a color. Get some big old crow wings, or maybe you want those hawk wings, different shapes. And there wouldn't be a lot of them. There wouldn't be, unless you made the choice. Because once we invent the wings, people are going to be like, I want a set of wings. Mm-mm. Nope, not as long as you got those two things dangling from your shoulders, buddy. You want wings? Cut them off. Cut them off, buddy. That's a commitment. You have to choose. Do you want to be just like everyone else with your arms and your legs, or do you want to be special? Do you want to have a set of frickin' angel wings? So I don't know if you guys have ever thought about that, but I think that that's what God was trying to tell us when He made birds. Um, so I was thinking about that yesterday. One thing that I was not thinking about until just recently was there should be. I think that we should leave Dolly Parton alone, don't you? I think that we should leave her alone. Um, she's a sweet woman. Shit, she hasn't done. I don't think she's done a song since like '72. She hasn't been in a movie since the Fried Green Tomatoes. I think that was in the '80s. So she tried to tell us long ago, 40 years ago, that she's done. But because she has such freaking great chesticles, we just keep bothering her. We just keep putting a camp. We just want to go check on them. Seems like the news every other day is checking in on Dolly Parton just to see if her boobs are still there. And they are, by the way. I get reminded of that. She's on the news and nobody knows why. They just show a picture of her. Like they'll be talking about there's riots at Brett Kavanaugh's house, and they'll show a picture of Dolly Parton. Anyways, Dolly Parton says that she doesn't know what's going on with it. You're like, okay, what does that have to do with anything? And Elon Musk is thinking about buying Twitter. Here's what Dolly Parton has to say about it. Why? It's almost like they know that they're going to get to see her, um, you know, her big front 40. So the problem with it is, dude, if you notice, I don't think that I think that the only way she's living right now is she's breathing through those things because her face, she's starting to look a little bit like a Tim Burton character. She's looking a little bit, and that's not her fault. She's probably 150 years old at this point. She was 74 in Fried Green Tomatoes. That was 40 years ago, bud. And God bless her, whatever she's tying up, whatever rope system she's using to tie up everything, and then put on one of those damn sequenced gowns that she always wears, those tasseled gowns of sequins. It's great. That all looks fine. It's covered up. It's like a good tablecloth. You know what I mean? It's like you have the perfect shaped table, and then but you better not take that tablecloth off because that wood is scarred. That wood is scarred under there. So she covers it up with a beautiful tablecloth, and she's got it everything positioned in such a way that wow, for 175 years old, she looks great. What does she think about Elon Musk buying Twitter? We got to find out. But she does, she just smiles now. She looks like, uh, oh, it's hollow in there, dude. It is hollow in there. So I say leave her alone. I say cut her arms off, put some wings on her, and let's let her fly away. Because she's transitioned. She's full bird now. And that's what I think about it. I feel bad for her too because she's a billionaire. I think Dolly Parton, they said top. They don't use her a lot in the lists because it's so far beyond. Um she wasn't funding Russia, but she's one of Russia's biggest contributors somehow or something for the war. She backed out of that though. Maybe there was a Dolly World over there. I think that's what it was. Putin loved Dolly World, so he built a replica over there, which is shut down because of the conflict. So I don't know if it's summertime in Russia. I've never read the book, but you can't go to Dolly World there, whether it's summer or not. So forget about that. Whoa. The freaking, I did. being a dad has its a lot of it can be challenging. I talked about the movie John Q on yesterday's show. That's a freaking challenge. But in the real life, not in Hollywood movies, being a father sometimes can have its issues, dude. And you know, the biggest one is waiting patiently till your children get old enough for um, for hand-to-hand combat with an adult. And we finally got to that stage with it's been we've been tiptoeing around it for a couple years where there'll be little wrestling matches or tickle fights or whatever that you have with your kids. But my son is 9, my daughter's 7, and both are just string beans, just ripped string bull, shredded without even trying. They hate exercise, in fact. But they're wiry, dude. They're Irish and they're wiry. And so last night, I started picking a little bit of a fight with my son. I started talking a little smack because we were playing Sonic, and I was whooping his ass at Sonic, and so I started talking smack, and we started getting into it a little bit, and then eventually it turned into, he hit me pretty good with a pillow, and then I took him down, and I do the move that dads do, where like you can basically clamp both their hands and a foot in one hand, and they're left with just one arm, just whatever, and they're doing whatever. They're tickling, trying to, and they'll get out. They'll do something to get out. And there's this, but as a father, the hard part is they do not know how hard they're hitting me. You know what I mean? So my son will rear back and kick me pretty damn hard. He'd kick like a mule or something, and my daughter will just jump off a couch, like jump off a couch and body slam me. And I'm okay with it. I don't, but it ain't gonna hurt me. But they don't realize that if they do that to each other, it will hurt. And so that's what you have to be aware of when you're the elder in a wrestling match. You have to you're the one getting attacked from both sides, but you realize that your biggest priority is to make sure that when this little rat is kicking, it doesn't hit this other little rat, you know? And so it is a very, very delicate balance of having fun, but trying not to crack a head open or somebody get kicked in the nose or lose a tooth or whatever. And so, oh, I had the best joke, I guess, timing. I was the freaking George Carlin of being a dad last night when it comes to this because we were going at it, I mean, for a long time, probably half hour. And finally I was like, enough, enough. Good job. Great job. Let's finish laying. It's time for bed. Let's lay down. We were watching a show on Hulu called The Goldbergs. It's a sitcom and it's pretty funny. And so I was on my side, kind of. I was laying on a pillow. I was on my side. Really, I was on my back, but my legs were swung over, like sideways. So my neck, my back, you know how the song goes. My neck and my back were on the ground, and then I'd flip my knees to the right, and so my butt was off of the ground and pointed. My butt was pointed to the left. My butt was pointed north, I think. And so we have in our living room, we have a coffee table, which is real nice. We use it for more than just then sofa and a chair in one corner and then a chair in the opposite corner. And oftentimes stuff will get rolled or pushed or find its way underneath the chair. And so as my butt was pointed south, I it was pointed directly at this chair. And I told my daughter, I said, hey, and she was laying right next to me, like right next. I said, hey, did you know I got you something? She's like, what did you give me? I said, it's a surprise. It's under that chair. And so in order to get to it, she had to crawl over my hips. And right when her hands touched the ground to start looking, and she did the move where she's like looking down to look under there, her face is a foot or less than away from my butt. And I just ripped one right in her face. I mean, so I got you something. What? It's like, it's under that chair. She crawled over me. Oh my. She like got up. She couldn't be more. Oh my. Oh, I'm going to throw up. Oh, just falling all over. Oh, it's hilarious. Jonah just crying, laughing. So it was a good time. We had fun. It's always fun to fart in your kid's face. It is always funny. It's not so funny when they do it to you. The hard part is you can do that stuff, but you still have to be a parent. You still have to be a parent. So you can't, you got to teach them that even though this is without a doubt the funniest thing that's ever happened, you don't get to do this all the time. You don't get to do it at school. You don't get to do it at a restaurant. You don't get to do it at a church. You don't get to do it. You got to teach them with the right time, and really the only right time is at home, where nobody else will know, even though it should be shared with the world. It's a family thing. Farting on your kids' face is a family thing that should be left in the home. And every once in a while in school, when you're with your buddies or something, if you can always play that game like, hey, what's under my desk? And they'll lean down and you can do one, slip one out in their face or something like that. Or you can fart in a dude's locker. That's always fun. But you got to be tactical about it. You got to be tactical about it because you'll get in trouble. And even though it's universally hilarious, everyone will think it's funny. It is hard to explain in a way that will make a person of authority think it's funny. Especially if the person you did it to does not like it. That's the key. Nobody likes to be farted in the face, but in the right context, it can always make somebody laugh. You have to find the right timing. It took me 7 years to find the perfect time to fart in my daughter's face. And I did it last night, and it was everything that moment would be. It was everything that I would want to be. So couldn't be happier with it. And God's good, dude. He knew when it was. And he was laughing about that one. That was a good moment that we had together. So if you have a child and you've yet to do it, I'm not saying go home and fart in their face right now. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you need to start thinking about it. Start looking for opportunities. Start planning it. And then something will tell you when the moment's right. It's kind of like proposing to your wife. Something will, whether that is she calls you and says she's pregnant, that might be your moment where you propose. Or she tricks you into liking her and convinces you that she will like you for a long time. And sometimes that's when you propose. I don't know what the moment's going to be for you and your daughter, as far as the flatulence is concerned, but if you've yet to do it, start thinking about it. I know we have some listeners with some very young children, young girls, young boys. Start thinking about it. It will be a moment. It's going to be one of those things that they're crying about at your funeral, that they're going to miss you so bad. I hope at my eulogy that my daughter brings up that story. I think it was that perfect. And if I may not be able to pay for college for them. I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to because they're so damn smart. Um, I might not be. I might not be able to buy them a car. How have you seen the price of cars? It's insane. I'm going to buy two more for these idiots when they're 16. I don't think so. So I'm not going to be able to do a lot of things. But what I will have done for them is provide moments like I did last night, moments of hilarity, and it's worth more than any car. That's worth more than a college education. That's worth more than anything, I think. So they may not appreciate it now, but that's what I said, dude. It's tricky being a dad. You just do your best. Some dads buy their kids cars. Some dads teach their kids how to do meth. That's happening. That doesn't mean you're a good dad. Be the kind of dad that creatively farts in your children's face and then appropriately. Do it in the right context. Be a good enough dad. Be the guy that says pull my finger when you're at a frickin' swap meet or something and there's people around. You know, just be smart about it, but be a good dad, everybody. I just pull up my notes. I don't even know what I was going to talk about today. For some reason, I wrote vacuum is like carpet mowing, which it is. It is. It's a lot like that. So if you guys want to go mow your carpet today, I encourage it, dude. Keep a clean house. So Jordan Peterson says, make your freaking bed, keep your house clean. As my notes are loading, I will remind you that we are going to be in Agra, Oklahoma today. We'll probably be doing a show on the way there. So check out the OK Taco Company on Facebook if you haven't followed us there. If you haven't followed Conradio on any of the social media places, whether it be TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, all of those places where people melt their brains, we're available, all of those. And consider subscribing on iTunes and Spotify. Leave a review to Conradio. We do not only the Shed Show, but we do a podcast called the OK Taco Show when we're out selling tacos. We do a podcast on Fridays called Those Guys from Wichita, which is a fun show that we've been doing since about 2010 in some version. So if you like what you're hearing here, then consider checking those shows out too. And you can find them all on Conradio. So, even if you don't listen, do me a favor and subscribe. That would be fun. And somebody, if you want to, you don't have to do it for me, but somebody better tap Steve Kerr, who is the coach of the Golden State Warriors. Tap him on the shoulder and let him know that COVID's over, bud. I seen him last night. He's got two masks on. He's got a under mask, He's got underwear for his face, and then he puts the normal mask over it. And maybe it's just he's ugly. Maybe it's a thing like that. He kind of looks like a breastless Dolly Parton himself with no hair, but I never did really enjoy the man, even when he was a player. Always felt like he was just kind of a miniature version of Dolph Lundgren. He kind of has that superior. He kind of looks like a Nazi youth or something, and I never liked that look on him. He was great at shooting 3-pointers, but I don't like the fact that him and Michael Jordan got into a fight. I don't. They were on the same team, and I kind of just wish MJ would have finished him, Mortal Kombat style. But either way, he's had a tremendous amount of success, not only as a player, but then as a coach and a human. And he's made last I checked, he's made in just United States dollars, he's made billions, hundreds of billions of dollars in a game that nobody cares about. And they're playing the Boston Celtics for the NBA championship. If you don't follow basketball, you're not the only one. Most of the country doesn't. But I just noticed at the press conference, then I thought, well, maybe it's required. Maybe it's required to put the mask on because, these guys are high profile people, and you want to, for all the youngsters watching, or all the people that are watching this, you want to just remind them to be conscious of what's going on. And so by wearing a mask, you're showing that, look, even these people are wearing, but nobody else in the press conference, nobody else was wearing one. And maybe he's more susceptible, he thinks. Maybe he's got pre-existing conditions. I don't know. If being a douchebag's a pre-existing condition that will get you sicker, then he's definitely got that. He's definitely got that. So, excuse me. Then I understand it. If you were watching sports last night, maybe you were like me, and instead of watching the NBA championships, you were watching Oklahoma versus the Texas Longhorns in the Women's College World Series softball championship, game one. The competition was based out of Oklahoma City, and I have been following the success of the Sooners softball team for a number of years, but I've never watched them. I've never watched a game. I've seen highlights via Twitter from lots of friends of mine that are big time Sooner fans, and I support it, and I know some of the names just from following them on social media, but watching it is, I gotta admit, dude, it is fun. It is a fun game to watch. It's fast paced. Um, these women are gorgeous. I don't know what they're unlike most. Okay, it's the perfect sport. Okay, for women, because the problem with women's sports is they're so physically fit that it's distracting because they're so beautiful, and not just to men, but to even women. You'll find that even women are attracted to other women in this modern day. So, um, like if you were watching volleyball, you can watch it, but you will watch it and be like, "Wow, these women are beautiful." But then in your brain, you go, "But they're also 7 foot tall." These are Amazon women, and they're going to have to meet up with somebody that's pretty tall. Or even if they like shorter guys, you got to find the right guy that's comfortable with being shorter than the female in the relationship. So that's hard. That's a challenge. And it distracts you. So you'll watch a volleyball, wow, these are gorgeous, and then all of a sudden, oh, but they wouldn't like me, or I wouldn't like them in that way. And then the sport is kind of like, of course you're able to hit the volleyball over the net. You are taller than the net. It's not a challenge. Um, and for like women's hockey, you don't see them. Who cares? They just look like. Unfortunately, it just doesn't seem as fun. Yet I've never really watched it. So women's basketball, same kind of feel as volleyball, where only they're not. Usually their costumes aren't as pleasing. They're not as visually pleasing. So basketball's tough. And then you get swimming. All you do is think gymnastics, buddy. You know what everybody thinks when they watch that. So finally you get to softball. And it's perfect because their uniforms are beautiful. They're color coordinated and stuff, and so they look great. They're all physically, you'll find some uh, bigger ladies out there, but they're just strong. Like if you were recruiting for a Colt or something and you need a damn log splitter, you would pick a woman's softball player. They can cut wood all day, dude. If you were going to go to a cold weather Colt, they would be perfect for that. Some of them will wear makeup, the ones that, understand. Others will choose to not. That's okay. And I don't know what the cool thing about it is, though, after the initial glance and like, wow, good looking ladies out there, then you get to watch them play the game, and the pitchers, man, they do that move where they'll spin their arm 30 times in a circle. You know how like in a baseball pitch, a guy will wind up, usually the arm will go back and then over, and then he'll let it go. Softball, there might be 58 rotations of that arm before they finally just let it go. And it'll come down there 60, 70 miles an hour. And they're like, I think they said they're 12 feet from the plate. So that ball's coming over at, in comparison to baseball, that ball's coming over at 200 miles an hour. And because they got much eyeliner on, they're able to pick it up. And these girls were just crushing home runs. They're fast as hell. The bases aren't as far as they are in baseball, so they're only running about 13 feet per base, but they're fast as hell, and they're running around the bases, sliding. They got so many damn chants. If there's one pitch happens, so it's chant for that. If it's full